Songs were written, composed, rehearsed. Friends and family were shown. Studios were booked, photographs were taken, and artwork was designed. Record companies spent money. In most cases, a hell of a lot of scratch was dropped. How exactly did these piles make it to the shelves? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Hello everyone, and welcome to Check the Credits, a podcast dedicated to exploring the hows, the whys, and the what-thas of awful records by legends of the music industry. Some unashamed plugs. Follow us on the gram, that is Insta at check___ the credits. That's 3 underscores. On the Twitter at Check Credits, the good old Zuckerbook at Check the Credits, and our own www.check-thecredits.com. We are your hosts, Michael Green and Sam. I made it all up. That's how good I am, Howard. Sammy, how are you, my brother?
Honestly, Mikey, I'm a little under the weather.
I hear that.
But I've got some honey and tea and water, and more importantly, I've got some bourbon.
Some bourbon, that's true. What kind do we have here?
We got some Woodford Reserve. Yeah, so
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. I've never had bourbon whiskey. I'm excited.
This should make it better for everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, I should say
they feel good, maybe, but you'd feel better.
It's gonna make me feel better.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Who was that? Would you mind introducing the artist that we are going to be covering today, please?
You got it, Mikey. The artist we're talking about today makes me sad and angry, but ultimately happy. He makes me want to cry for every summer night as a 10-year-old where I didn't hold a loving gaze at my mother long enough or climb up into my father's lap just one more time before I got too big. Listening to his songs of some imagined Americana that he manufactured in his brain and sold to us all as genuinely and painfully authentic, it makes you wonder what you were doing as a kid. Why wasn't I memorizing every single detail of my neighborhood? Why wasn't my street connected by family and church and the local factory? Why haven't I sung about knowing all the cracks in my sidewalks and written eloquently about my relationship with the tree I climbed every day outside of my bedroom window? But he forces us to think about those things, and it ultimately makes us happy. He makes us angry as he sings his songs of injustice, social, political, economic. Hearing this man sing of factory closings, jobs lost, immigrants mistreated, activists silenced, and the fat cats, politicians, and lawmakers getting away with it all. It makes us angry, but in a righteous way. He parlayed his unique voice and those memories into haunting, hovering, magical poems and mined every inch and crevice of his seemingly boundless empathy for the stories of ourselves that we couldn't tell for ourselves. The man we are speaking about today is none other than the bar band leading, blue jean wearing, unapologetic country twang using, and reluctant multi-generation voicing boss.
I'm the boss.
Well before Rick Ross, we're talking about the great Bruce Springsteen. But entering the 1990s, as most everyone else was leveling up, the indie rock bands from Manchester crossed their melodies and song structures with house rhythms. Ecstasy-fueled raves were popping up in abandoned Detroit buildings. Hip-hop was beginning the process of simply taking over popular culture for good. And even his mega rock and pop compatriots were pivoting, with U2 reimagining themselves as some sort of shiny European representatives from the future. And Madonna pushing against the expectations of what a female pop star could and couldn't sing about. Our man Bruce made another record, like he'd been making, except this time without his legendary band behind him. So today, Mikey, we are talking about an album he made called Human Touch.
Yeah, we are. That was amazing.
That's how good I am.
You are getting so good at those, man.
Bless you.
It's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most when we do this.
Oh, thank you.
What is he bringing? What's he going to bring? What's he doing?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Human Touch.
Human Touch. Yeah. I can't wait to get into this.
I can't wait to get into
Let's do
this
thing.
Before we do that,
Yeah.
can you talk to me about your personal history Any anecdotes that you have with the boss?
I'm excited about this one because for
Okay.
the first time, I think so far, I've actually got I might have you beat.
No, there's no way. Did you have beer with him like I did? I'm kidding. That didn't happen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's leave. 1984.
Whoa.
So my dad is awesome for this one thing, for a lot of things. But for one thing that I always loved growing up, which was he's a bit of a gearhead. Like anytime something came out new, he would get it. So like the first VCR, the first CD player, and he got like the first VHS camcorder,
What a
like
nerd.
the big one that you like put on your shoulder.
Yeah, I remember.
So
yeah.
we have this old tape from 1984 of me in the basement dancing
Born in
like
the
a
USA.
dumb little 5-year-old. No, actually, to Pink Cadillac.
Oh wow, I remember that song.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
B-side from Dancing in the Dark or something like that. And they used to play it on the radio. I guess they released it
I
as
remember
a
that
single.
song.
Yeah. And it's me dancing to that. Like
That's amazing.
Like a dumb little 5-year-old. So that's my first memory of Bruce Springsteen.
Now Clint Eastwood had a movie called Pink Cadillac.
That's right.
Was that song from that movie?
No idea.
No, I don't think it was actually.
So then after that, my next thing would have been in like 1990 when Two Live Crew came out with a song called Banned in the USA after they had all their problems. And I hated it because I hated Born in the USA.
Oh.
And they basically just redid that chorus instead of Born in the USA. They're like, Banned in the USA. And I hated it. So that was my other Bruce memory. And
Pretty
then
original.
a few years later, when I discovered that the local library, you could take out like tapes, like
Yeah.
videotapes and stuff. They had a Bruce concert film that I borrowed. And I think there's still like a wanted poster of me because I've had
Wow.
it. I still have it. I never gave it back. I've never stepped foot back in that library.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So those are my big 3 Bruce memories.
Those are so cool.
How about you? Did I beat you for once or what?
No.
No, of course not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah?
those are cool stories, man. Yeah, mine are just like sort of anecdotal. Born in the USA was the album that I remember.
Okay.
Being really young, had it on cassette tape.
Okay, so still the
and
same
listened
time?
to it. Yeah, still the same era.
But hold on. When you say that, you don't mean you're like 5 listening to that, do you?
Yeah. I had a little Walkman. It was like this yellow.
Come on, you're 5 years old
Walkman.
listening to stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I remember listening to My Hometown and stuff over and over again. I never liked the song Born in the USA.
Okay.
But that was the album for me. In high school, so we're fast forwarding like a
Yeah.
good 10 years or so. In high school, I hooked up with a guy who was a big Bruce fan. So he was introducing me to like Tunnel of Love, Lucky Town, and obviously our Lucky Days, and Human Touch.
Oh, okay.
So in 94, 95, I picked up the Bruce Springsteen's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever heard stuff like Atlantic City and all the stuff, Thunder Road, things like that.
Yeah.
I'd heard like Born to Run on the radio and stuff, but I really wasn't familiar with any of Bruce Springsteen's material before Born in the USA.
That's actually a wonderful point. I should say, after all of that, I did get into those tunes, like the 70s era stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From that same guy in California that I went to go
The
record
Guns N'
with.
Roses guy.
The Guns N' Roses guy was
Yeah,
also
yeah.
a Springsteen guy. Those were his like 2 big acts.
Those are his 2 big acts.
Yeah. But it was great though. The guy
I
was
want to
great.
note that you're the one who picked the boss. Did you do that on purpose, just so you have all these cool stories to tell?
Why did I? I don't know.
Why did it?
You know what?
yeah. Oh, it must be a coincidence.
Shut up. You're gonna make me cough, man.
I don't mean to. I'm so sorry.
You know what? I've got an idea though. If I do start coughing too much, I've got. I figure, everyone likes a little talk box. Everyone likes a little. Bow, wow.
Everyone?
No. That was
that
me
what that's
doing.
for?
No, that was me doing my Jovi.
Oh, so it's like bow, wow, whoa, 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 whoa. You went like bow, wow.
There is one though. Sorry, I keep turning it on accidentally.
There's like 11 Jovi songs that do that. Yeah. Oh, that's
what is that?
It's My Life.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a Jersey episode.
So Human Touch, is that the first time you're hearing this record?
Yes, I mean I heard the song "Human Touch," but I don't.
Right.
I didn't know the rest of it.
So the song Human Touch was featured on that Greatest Hits
That's
album
right, yeah.
that I listened to over and over again when I was 14, 15.
Okay. Did you like it then?
I like
That
that song.
song. Okay.
Yeah, I did like that song for sure. How do you feel about going through some... Oh, you know what? I'm going to do something first. It's 1992 this album came out.
Yes.
And I've actually got the top news stories.
Oh, yeah.
From 1992. I forgot I did all this research. So, after the Freddie Mercury tribute concert was announced, all 72,000 tickets sold out in 3 hours, even though no performers were announced other than the remaining members of Queen.
Is that right?
Isn't that bananas?
Yeah.
McDonald's sold a burger called the McJordan.
Wait, no.
That included all of Michael Jordan's favorite toppings, one of
What?
which was barbecue sauce. In 2012, an unopened gallon of 20-year-old McJordan barbecue sauce sold on eBay for $10,000.
That's amazing. I've never heard of the McJordan. How have I never heard of the McJordan?
I don't know. We would have been like 12.
Yeah, I had Jordans when I was 12.
I didn't eat McDonald's though.
And I
only ate McDonald's as an adult.
And I did very much so eat McDonald's. Wow. That's
You ate
amazing.
McDonald's a lot when you were a kid?
Not a lot, because it was
Okay.
like a treat,
Yeah.
right? We didn't have it like that.
Yeah.
And I know I just said I had Jordans, but that was because that was like, that was strong arming my dad. Like that was a whole other story.
Did you have a job when you were a kid though?
No,
Earn your
no.
own money? Didn't have a paper route, something like that?
I did have a paper route, but this is before that. Before that, I had no money, and I had an allowance for like cutting grass, but it wasn't enough to buy Jordans.
Did you have headphones listening to music when you're doing your paper route? And if you did,
Absolutely.
what were you listening to?
I was listening to the Bare Naked Ladies.
Nice.
I had a tape with the Bare Naked Ladies on one side. It was their first album with like If I Had $1 Million and Enid and all those great songs.
Oh, those guys suck.
Stop it. Bare Naked Ladies are awesome. How dare you?
Band name's super cool.
How dare you? I remember, anyway, lots of stuff. But I didn't have Jordan's money, but I still got a pair of Jordans.
How much would a pair of Jordans have cost?
They were
back then?
$110 in 1990, which was insanity, right?
Yeah, I remember.
But like,
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah,
I never had them.
Right, but all like I went to school with like a lot of kids with money.
Yeah.
And I was wearing like byway boots.
Byway!
Dude!
Byway! Tracks!
What the? Dude, listen to me. This is how bad it was. I had a pair of Tracks and a pair of Sparks.
But with an X.
Hold on. Tracks and Sparks. One day I literally went to school wearing Tracks on one foot, Sparks on the other, because they were the exact same shoe.
You crushed, I bet. The girls went crazy.
It was so embarrassing.
There's no way they didn't.
I think it was a mistake. Like, I didn't even mean to do it. But that's how like byway we were. But then
Byway.
Okay, so this
oh
is
my gosh.
I gotta say this, and I know this is a Bruce Springsteen episode.
Yeah.
Nobody listening to this cares about Jordans. I should have told this story like during the Nas episode or something. I don't know.
No, this is cool.
But anyway, my family had just come from Egypt, and we were walking through the not my family, like my aunt and her her girls and my uncle, and we were walking through the mall, and the Jordan 5s had just come out, and I saw the Jordan 5s. We were walking by Foot Locker, and I was like, Baba, can I get some shoes? And then he was like, get lost. Like, obviously, no. like you're wearing byway boots, kid. Like, no. But I did it on purpose because his sister was right next to him. Ooh. And she was like, oh, come on, get him the shoes.
You're so manipulative.
It was You're the greatest
pure
moment.
evil.
Dude, I got grape 5s, like, when they came out. Like, this is the greatest shoe of all time. And I had them just because I totally just finessed it like perfectly.
No recollection of the McJordan sandwich.
No recollection of the
sandwich
Jordan,
McDonald's.
though.
No.
That's insane. I was a Jordan head and a McDonald's head.
And you don't...
I don't remember the McJordan. Maybe it
That's
never came
funny.
to Canada.
Oh,
that's
a good point. The McJordan might have been just the States.
Maybe.
Yeah. Buddy.
Anyway, I'm sorry for that tangent.
That's okay.
people.
That was great. That was fun.
All right.
I can't believe we both said Byway and Tracks.
We both had Tracks.
Oh my gosh, we were so poor.
Dude, that's so cool.
Oh, I love it. Also in the news in 1992, President George H.W. Bush vomited on Japanese Prime Minister Kiichi Miyazawa during a state dinner.
I remember that.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Oh, man. Where's that? Where's that bourbon?
Was that my amazing impression that made you do that?
Yeah, it was.
A shipping container filled with 28,000 rubber duckies was lost in the Pacific Ocean. To this day, they're still being found around the world.
That's real?
Yeah, that's real.
amazing.
The Blue Jays, the Redskins, the Bulls, and the Penguins all won the championships for whatever sports those teams play for. The first text message ever was sent by Neil Papworth and said, "Merry Christmas." It had to be typed from a PC as phones didn't allow text entry yet.
Interesting.
1992. Okay. Guns N' Roses performed November Rain in Bogota, Colombia, when they started to play A Soft Rain Fell Over the City and stopped right after they finished the song. So right after Slash's 80-minute guitar solo.
That's still not as cool as...
I think it's bullshit.
Have you ever seen the performance of Prince doing Purple Rain at the Super Bowl?
No.
And it's raining, and it's amazing.
You know what? I think maybe I have.
You must have seen it.
Is it with that wild guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, Prince.
Yeah, Prince.
Sales of CDs exceeded total sales of cassette tapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
92.
Right. Yeah. Paul Link from Great Britain did 124 push-ups with one finger. Drink it in. And finally...
Oh, man.
This is a serious note. I probably should have done these in a different order. And finally, Los Angeles police officers severely beat Rodney King, which is famously captured on video, and will lead to the LA riots after the police officers are acquitted. 53 people were killed. And of course, prompted the now famous King quote, "Can we all just get along?" which he delivered to help quell the riots taking place in his name. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he didn't agree with what was happening. But
did you watch those riots? Do you remember that?
I remember watching some of it like on TV, like in school.
Yeah.
I remember watching a number of things where they would like push a TV in on like a cart.
I remember listening to the OJ verdict in math class.
I was just about to say, I remember a lot of like the Afghanistan war and stuff in the early 90s, them pushing in like...
the Iraq war.
Yeah. Oh, Gulf.
Yeah,
the Gulf. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. And then, the OJ verdict. Mm-hmm. They pushed a TV in, and we're Canadian.
Yeah.
I went to like Essex High, man.
Right.
It was in art class, and they're like, "Oh, the teacher wanted to know."
Yeah. No, we listened to it on a little radio. I remember in math class.
I remember
the teacher wanted to know.
Yeah. And when that happened, like I remember my feelings.
Yeah.
What were yours?
I thought I don't remember.
I remember like a sinking feeling.
Really?
Like
for the OJ verdict?
Yeah. When he was acquitted, I remember feeling like, what the
I don't think I really cared. I think
really?
I think I was affected by the Rodney King guys getting off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was bananas.
I don't think I care. I think it had become. I think the OJ thing had already become parody by that point.
Yeah. I guess
there was already so many jokes and sketches about it.
I remember people like cheering.
Oh yeah.
In like not only on the TV, but like in the classroom.
Oh really?
Like students,
he's
the teacher.
Juice.
Yeah. So everybody was like jumping up, and I just remember feeling like,
really?
Yeah.
I remember not really caring.
All right. Yeah. Top grossing movies in 1992 were Aladdin,
my favorite,
and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Not a fan. That's the one with Trump in it.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
John Mulaney has this bit in his special New in Town where he talks about how it's a stupid movie title. He goes like, "Lost in New York? The streets are numbered. How'd you get lost in New York?" And then he goes on to say that he wishes he was a Def Jam comic when that movie came out because he would have torn it to pieces. He's like, "You seen this shit? You seen this Home Alone 2 Lost in New York shit? It's a grand system, motherfucker. Where you at? 24th and 5th? Where you want to go? 35th and 6th? It's 11 up and 1 over, you simple bitch." Anyway,
nice.
Check out John Mulaney's special if you want, because it's really, really good.
It is funny.
How do you feel about going through some credits of Human Touch?
So you're saying we're gonna
Some the boss.
check the credits.
Dude, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I heard Puppy Blood in there.
Yeah, Puppy Blood.
Love it. This album was released in March of 1992. It's his 9th studio album. It was released the same day as Lucky Town.
Yeah.
But it was the more popular of the two. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200. The title cut peaked at number 1 on the mainstream rock chart. The single was also nominated for Best Rock Vocal Performance at the 1993 Grammys.
Balls.
Work on the album started in late 89 after he broke up the E Street Band, which took its name from the street in Belmar, New Jersey, where keyboard player David Shanksh's mother lived. They used to rehearse in the garage there.
I didn't know any of that.
See?
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Pianist Roy Batan played Springsteen 3 instrumentals that he was working on: Roll of the Dice, Real World, and Trouble in Paradise. The boss wrote lyrics to the music and liked them enough to keep on writing and recording more tracks. Roll of the Dice and Real World would actually end up on the Human Touch record.
Yep.
With the E Street Band gone, Bruce assembled a band of studio musicians in Los Angeles, including bassist Randy Jackson.
Yo, dog.
Yeah.
I was ready for you.
Good for you, man. And drummer Jeff Porcaro.
I have no drop for Jeff Porcaro.
Okay, so Porcaro was asked by Springsteen to join the band for the subsequent tour, but declined because of his responsibilities with Toto.
Oh, Toto guy.
Porcaro died only a few months later of a sudden heart attack in his garden at the age of 38.
That's a shame.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
So, the album was originally set for a 1991 release date, but was halted when Springsteen began recording Lucky Town. He ultimately decided to release both albums on the same day, with Human Touch finally being released more than 2 years after starting the project.
Wow.
Imagine 2 years working on an album.
Yeah.
What in the actual ass? It sold 246,000 copies during its first week of release. Wow. It has since sold over 1 million copies in the U.S.
Who would have bought that shit?
Born to Stay.
Born to Stay.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
The album is generally disliked by fans and is usually ranked last among Springsteen's albums. Oh, Broadway must have been a goldmine for you.
It was. If anybody doesn't know, or if anybody hasn't seen, if you're listening to this, you're probably a Bruce Springsteen fan.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the Bruce Springsteen on Broadway special on Netflix, what are you doing with your life? The thing is amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk more about that.
Okay, we'll get into that later. But just know a lot of this stuff comes from that.
Yeah. So regarding the bad rep of Human Touch and Lucky Town, Bruce has since said, quote, "I tried it, writing happy songs in the early 90s, and it didn't work. Public didn't like it."
No, that wasn't why, Bruce. And we'll get into this. That's not why. We don't care if you write happy songs.
Want to go through producer credits?
Yes, I do.
Where's Bob Rock?
Bob Rock.
Where were you?
You know what? Oh, man.
Boom.
And I always get it wrong. That ga boom is what he does.
Yeah.
But that's not the sad but true. Sad but true is ga.
Yeah, he doesn't do it right, but that is what he's talking about. No, absolutely. I've been doing it wrong this whole time too until we started doing this drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Come
right.
on, Bob.
I noticed during the Madonna episode that I'm like, I think I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, you were.
But he is.
He is.
Bob Roberto, producer credits.
Yeah.
So John Landau,
Yep.
who famously wrote in 1974, "I saw the future of rock and roll, and its name is Bruce Springsteen."
How cool is that?
I know.
You're reviewing a guy.
Yeah.
And then you go on to become such a pivotal part of his career.
Of every aspect of it.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
some Cameron Crowe kind of stuff. Usually, you know what I mean?
You can't write that.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
That
I
sounds
remember hearing
fiction.
that Cameron Crowe took a lot of flack because he went from just being a journalist to being an artist himself, and then even getting a rock star wife and everything, and all the other journalists are like,
Nancy Wilson.
"Oh, look at you, fancy
Yeah.
guy!
Yeah.
Too good to just be a journalist."
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
this
Yeah,
is even
yeah, I am.
more
Hopefully Cameron said that. Yeah, exactly. Eat a bag.
Anyway.
So yeah, John Landau has since obviously been connected to Bruce Springsteen throughout his career as a critic, manager, and producer. Also known as a manager or producer for artists such as MC5, Jackson Brown,
Really?
Train, Shania Twain.
Wow.
Yeah. Chuck Plotkin, also connected to Springsteen throughout most of his career, also known for his work with Bob Dylan and producing soundtrack albums for films like Dead Man Walking, Philadelphia, and Jerry Maguire. Which
Philadelphia.
All three.
Right.
Springsteen had a song on there. E Street pianist Roy Batan and Springsteen are also listed as producers.
That's pretty cool that he gave a producer credit to the E Street guy.
Yeah, it's very cool. So how are you feeling? How are your ears? You feel like going through Human Touch?
Oh,
There's
yes.
14 songs on this bish.
Let's do it.
So first up, we got Human Touch.
Hey there.
If you want to listen to this clip, you're gonna have to go download the album. If you dare. It's pretty shitty. Hence the purpose of this podcast. Anyway, back to the show.
Yeah, so it still gets performed sometimes by Springsteen and the E Street Band, even though they had been dismissed at the time of the original recording. I actually remember this song in 92. I also had his greatest hits album in 95. This was the only track on that record, so I like the song. It's like 6.5 minutes long. It's like a big 2-minute jam at the end. On the greatest hits record, there's like a radio edit, so it's like 4.5 minutes. Okay. So I actually, when I started listening to this album, I wasn't aware of how long this thing was.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, if you
I like the song.
If you would ask me about this though before we did this, I would have sworn that it was from the 80s.
Yeah, you mean just like sonically speaking?
Yeah, I would have just assumed this was like from the Born in the USA album or something.
Yeah. Got it. So, did you like the track? I like the song.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I like Human Touch. It's a cool song.
Yeah.
I also did a little bit more research.
Okay.
And did YouTube comments. It took It took a second for me to get that out, and this is why.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do this at the end. But our Billboard charts game.
Yeah.
We didn't do our Billboard charts game. I have it, and we forgot to do it.
Oh, I just figured. I don't know. You didn't want to do it this time.
No.
Dummy.
No, I forgot.
Okay.
Oh no, you know what? We have to do it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, folks. Sorry.
We're starting over.
Holy brain fart.
Start over. We're just gonna start over.
Oh my gosh. So the top 10 songs in 1992 on the Billboard charts.
Wait a minute. Didn't we do 92 already though?
No, we did 93.
Oh, okay.
So number 10.
Yeah.
John Cicada. Cicada?
John Cicada.
John Cicada.
Oh man.
I love that you're thinking of it. Good for you.
Yeah, I remember John Cicada.
Oh, I remember him, but I couldn't name a song. You're gonna go for it?
It's probably just the one. No, but I'll probably. Yeah, what is it?
There's 3 words. Put 3 together and see if you get them. Go for it.
I love you.
That's close.
Thank you.
Just Another Day.
Just Another Day. Okay.
Number 9, Color Me Bad.
Color Me Bad. Do Me? No.
Is that the name of the song? Was that Invitation?
What was their other one? I Want to Sex You Up.
It's not that one.
Oh no, Do Me was sorry. I'm so sorry. That was Belle of DeVoe.
Do Me wasn't even Color Me Bad?
No, it was Belle of DeVoe.
Oh my gosh. What's happening?
It's not I Want to Sex You Up?
No.
They had more than one song?
I never heard of this song. I haven't heard a lot of these.
Time?
No.
They have a song called Time? No. Okay, what is it?
All for Love.
Okay.
All right. Number 8.
Yeah.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
In 92? So, Under the Bridge?
You got it.
Yeah.
Well done, son.
1.
Wait. Yeah, you've only got 1 so far?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Number 7. En Vogue. En Vogue. En Vogue.
En Vogue. That's tough.
En Vogue. You know this one.
Yeah, I do. Hold On. Hold on to your love. No, that would have been later. Express Yourself.
No. You're never gonna get it.
You're never gonna get it.
You're never gonna get it.
Okay.
Number 6. Eric Clapton.
Tears in Heaven.
You got it.
Yes.
Tears in Heaven. Feel you good. TLC. Number 5.
No Scrubs was on a different one that I
93,
missed.
I think.
Yeah. So it was before No Scrubs. So it's Let's Talk About Sex.
Nope.
Waterfalls?
No. But if it's 92, 93, it could still be on that same record, right? If it was a big hit.
Is it Shoop De Doop? No. Was that even them? Yeah, it was.
That's not Salt and Pepper?
That's Salt and Pepper, sorry. Okay, I don't know.
Baby, Baby, Baby?
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, you know it?
Yeah.
Can you sing it for me?
I'm not going to do it. But go ahead. Keep going.
Vanessa Williams at number 4.
Don't know.
Save the Best.
Yeah, save the best for last. Yeah. Yeah.
Number 3. Crisscross.
Jump.
No, that's Van Halen. Number 2. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Baby Got Back.
Oh, look at Sammy's butt. It is so big. I remember thinking that the first time I met you. And the number one song.
So what have I got so far? 3?
Oh, let's see. You got...
I don't think I've only got 3.
You got Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers.
You got Clapton.
Yeah.
And you got Criss Cross.
That's it?
No, and you got Baby Got Back. So you got 4. You got 4. 4 out of 10.
Okay, all right.
You didn't get On Vogue.
No.
I kind of gave it to you.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't get Color Me Bad.
All right. Okay, number 1.
Number 13 was I'm Too Sexy from Right Said Fred. Okay, nice. The number 1 song.
Yes.
In the 1992 charts, Billboard charts. Boys to Men.
Oh, so Motown Philly?
No.
Hold on.
I believe in you. You can do it.
I know I can. Hold on. Oh, I'll pause this right now.
You want to give it a goog?
It's Dead Air. I will let Dead Air go. I'm not giving up on this because I know it. I know it. I just hold on. It's
Have you ever watched their videos?
They're great.
Oh, they're so
I wanted a cane ever since I saw this video.
Yeah.
What is it? It's got the whole bridge where he's like, "Hey, baby.
Hey, girl.
Yeah.
You know I would never hurt you.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
There was only like 8 other women. But they meant nothing to me, baby.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm just picturing you with your man. That should be me in there. Feeding you grapes.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna
We're gonna
stop.
edit this?
No, we're not gonna edit this. Everyone's gonna listen to me agonize.
You got acapella of the boss.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play them all until I figure this out, which isn't gonna help me
This
at
is
all.
completely my bad. I completely forgot about this game, and now I've interrupted. Oh, Bruce.
Oh, I hate you, Mikey.
I like big.
Stop it. I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm right there.
It's on the tip of your dick.
Right there. It's not I'll make love to you like you want me to.
That was me taking a sip of bourbon.
It's a
deep burn. It's a deep burn.
End of the road.
End of the road. He got it, ladies and gentlemen.
That was rough.
That took forever.
That was horrible.
You think people will listen to that whole thing?
Oh, the Bruce Springsteen fans want to make sure.
Oh, they want to make sure he gets the Boys
that
to
I
Men
remember
song
the
right.
Boys to Men song.
Oh my god!
Wow.
What in the fresh hell was that?
I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let that go.
Good for you.
There's no way.
Your entire life is a garbage bag. Human Touch.
Yeah.
You like the song? Okay, we're gonna go to YouTube comments. We're gonna bring it right back. Holy cow!
Like no mistakes.
Whew.
No mistake.
Math person 3 years ago says, key of G major, so warm, so beautiful, so right. Human touch. We're animals who need to get together now and then. Anthropologists tell us this. You can go farther with the notion of human touch, but this guy's talking about emotions, not sex. Life is emotion. Those who don't get this, I hope you will.
That's the math teacher?
Math person.
Math person.
3 years ago.
That was great.
Good grief. Joe S. 3 years ago says, come on with the fucking ads.
Oh, that's great.
I love that. I love that Buddy was so angry over the ads
He commented it.
that on his Bruce Springsteen video.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So good. I love you, Joe S. Mm-hmm. And Tim McCreary 2 years ago says, give me more of that Bruce juice.
Pause, man. Don't say Bruce juice. Oh, man, that's gross.
In all of these weeks of listening to his music, the Broadway thing, everything, I never even thought of Bruce juice.
Oh, because that's gross.
Yeah, but it's so good. Okay, track number 2. is a song called Soul Driver. Whatever that means. I forgot it instantly when it was done.
You know what this reminded me of?
Even now, I forgot it.
Do you remember what it was like to hear grunge music or alternative or whatever for the first time?
Yeah, I remember not liking it.
Really?
Yeah.
So I remember it not just like sounding like a change, but like feeling like a change.
I felt that.
Right.
And I was excited and interested in that. But like when Nevermind came out,
Yeah.
I was listening to Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah, no, I know. And like, we've been through, like, I was listening to my own stuff too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't like a diehard grunge
You didn't jump on
guy.
board?
No.
Okay.
But I remember the feeling of that change. And the best way I can say it is like the change felt like a change from this. Like these
sound,
these kinds of songs.
Right.
It felt like a change from this.
Yeah. Was there any bands that you were really into before like Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and everything came out?
Yeah.
Not came out, but went big in the 90, 91.
Yeah.
That you were like, uh-oh, what are they going to do? Is their career over kind of thing? Was there any bands that you were nervous for?
No.
Because I was excited about that grunge thing coming through because I was like over the Rat and Poison and Motley Crue crap. And all those bands have tried to sort of adapt.
Right. And I wasn't aware of that stuff enough at that age because I was coming out of like hip hop more.
Yeah,
so
I wish I was too. Because then my sentences would be cooler.
So but I knew enough like radio music to like really feel the change like when that kind of hit.
Yeah.
But this song just kind of like reminded me of that moment.
Yeah. See, so it was very similar to the Brian Howe fronted version of Bad Company.
Okay.
When Paul Rogers had left.
Right.
I felt like it could have been on any one of their like 90s records. That Holy Water, Here Comes Trouble.
Okay.
Like very sort of an over, what do you call it? Not overflow, but over like from the 80s production, the 80s cheese.
Yeah, spillover.
Spillover, yeah, maybe is the better way to put it. But yeah, so did you have anything to add for that track? Soul Driver, I didn't like it, didn't care for it at all.
No, I didn't like it either.
I liked his voice in the verse, sounded like it had some guts, probably why I clipped it. But
yeah. Well, so you just brought up an interesting point.
Oh, good.
So before we get to the
finally, fifth episode.
So it's only 1992, but this whole album still doesn't sound like it was made in the 90s.
No.
So I'm wondering what you think of this. Like, how long does it take for that spillover from the previous decade to stop? And then people are like, okay, right, we are in a proper new decade, no more of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Everything ahead. Because 92 is still pretty close, right?
Yeah,
Like in my intro is real, like enough had changed that I feel like people should have changed. But I don't know, I remember looking at the cover of 10, Pearl Jam's first record.
Yeah.
And like Buddy's still wearing like spandex.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is Pearl Jam.
And they're all doing a high five. So cool.
Right? So it's like, okay, so we're not totally out of the 80s
It was the Nirvana thing.
Yeah.
It was definitely the Nirvana thing that was the complete different thing because Pearl Jam had guitar solos. I remember there was a quote from Phil Collen, who was the guitar player for Def Leppard, who said there was an interesting thing that happened in the 90s where it became uncool to play your instrument well.
I don't know about that. I mean,
because the loudest voice out there was someone like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And that sort of I don't give a shit attitude was something that everybody envied. Or everybody was just like, that's the cooler way to go. Is like, I don't even care. I'm not even going to shower. I don't even care that much.
Sure, but except like Dave Grohl's drums on all the Nirvana stuff is still awesome. Like that dude is a proficient player.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it was more of...
But I get it because before, and you know what a great place to notice that is guitar magazines from the 80s to the 90s.
Yeah.
And I always thought like, man, those guys who used to transpose or transcribe it into tablature must have like just like
what do I do now?
Like they were like retired in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s, you're like, here's an Ingvar Malmsteen song.
Oh, gosh.
Like,
here's a Maiden tune.
Yeah, give us the tab for this. Then the next thing is like, here's I don't know.
Nevermind.
Here's Nevermind.
Or Come As You Are. Yeah.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
But like, how long should it take for musicdom
Well,
to
there was-
move out of
Yeah.
and into a new
I think there was a
decade.
lot of bands and artists, and Bruce, I guess, could be looped into that were like maybe not consciously aware or not interested. They're like, well, we'll stick to our guns.
Right.
And it'll come back around.
You think that's what it is? It'll come back around?
Yeah. AC/DC put out albums in the 90s, or album. I think they put out maybe...
Really?
Yeah, I think
One?
I think they put out 2 maybe.
Wow.
And then there's some live stuff in there, but I think Razor's Edge was 90, Ballbreaker was 95. So, and they DC or DC.
Yeah.
But you know what? DC or DC, but if you listen to the Razor's Edge, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, I'll make it brief, but that's a very polished album. Like it's the drums, everything. Like,
Okay.
do you remember listening to the sonically, like Thunderstruck, Money Talks, those songs?
Totally. No,
They're
you're
very
right.
shiny,
You're
man.
right.
They have more in common with something like Human Touch than they would with a Nevermind.
Right.
Although Nevermind is still super, super glossy.
Right.
In comparison to
In Utero.
Insecticide or In Utero or in Utero or anything like that. It's where they went back to being super dry.
Right. And that you could probably say that's the difference between like what Butch Vig
And Brendan O'Brien.
and no who's the guy who did In Utero?
I don't remember.
What's his
But I
name?
know Brendan O'Brien was the guy who did a lot of Pearl Jam records, a lot of Soundgarden stuff, a lot of stuff like that where the dryness sort of was the thing. Because Pearl Jam's first record is super glossy as well, 10.
Yep.
But when Verse came out, it was super dry. And that's Brendan O'Brien.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you can get something that sounds big, that sounds warm and big without all the reverb, without all the chorus, without everything. You can just record a band playing live and it could sound huge.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Steve Albini.
Oh, Albini.
Yeah, and he's awesome, right? Like he's
Right.
like an
I'm
old
sorry.
school kind of everybody.
Was he the one that wore the overalls, like a Mike Myers overalls, coveralls? Or
Yeah, because he
That
was.
was him?
I think that's him because he was all very much like, "This is my job.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not going to romanticize being
Yep.
a producer."
Yep.
He famously doesn't take a producer credit.
That's the guy. I
Isn't that
remember him.
insane?
Yeah. Is this from Sound City? That documentary? Is this where we're getting the information?
I've never seen that.
Okay. Then.
I just know.
How do we know this?
I don't know. I just know everything about.
It's got to be a
everything.
documentary we've both shared then.
Well, yeah, I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was Sound City.
I don't know. But yeah, I think that's that sort of getting into a new decade. It takes some people a lot longer to realize.
Yeah.
We're going into a new decade. Things should change.
And maybe they never did. Some of them didn't.
Yeah.
Def Leppard did learn.
They tried to.
Yeah. Because
tried
they
to.
put out an album called Adrenalize
And that was what,
around
like
92.
95? Oh, really?
Around 92. And it was that Def Leppard 80s sound. And it was huge. It was number one.
Okay,
Remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
Let's Get Rocked garbage, all that stuff?
But when did they do
And,
their?
and then they did Slang, and that was like 96.
Yeah, okay.
So, but like Kurt was gone in 94.
Yeah.
So you're a little late to the...
Too late.
Not that when Kurt was gone, that sound stopped, because Soundgarden continued, Pearl Jam continued, all these bands still continued, Alice in Chains and stuff. But I think a good thing to remember during this episode is that the least amount that we talk about Human Touch is because of how shit the album is. And we're just going to go off on these other tangents.
I'm sorry.
Because this album is so uninteresting. Soul Driver, pile of garbage.
Okay.
Some
comments.
YouTube comments. I got Kalen Rocks 9, 10 months ago, says, intro sounds like something out of Super Mario 64.
No.
Boomin' 3 months ago. 3 months ago.
Wow.
Says, underrated song. I don't know why, but when I first heard this song, all I had to do was hear the intro. Those first four flute notes. And I knew this song was gonna rock.
Oh, when you hear those four flute notes.
Rock!
Yeah.
Rock, dude. That's my Jack Black. Okay. Sherry Crocker, 6 months ago. Now, Sherry Crocker is going to jump up every now and then in my YouTube comments.
Really?
She was all over Bruce.
Oh,
Dude,
this is great. We've never had that.
She's obsessed. Listen to this comment.
Go.
Bruce, I'm sorry for everything. This is all in caps. I'm sorry for everything. Forgiveness I'm requesting from you, please. Wow. Yeah.
Why? Why, Mike?
I don't know. I'm thinking she's got like a shrine that she prays to.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready for the next song?
What's it called?
57 channels and nothing on. This was the second single off the record. So I remember seeing him perform this on Saturday Night Live.
Really?
When I was a kid. I remember seeing it, and it was weird.
Why?
he would just do that, and then go into this guitar thing.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the beginning stages of my like guitar playing and not recognizing anything he was doing. He was just sort of playing these bizarre chords over top of it. I think it's really hard to find SNL performances on like YouTube. There's like copyright shit.
Okay.
So it's really hard to find. But there's one where you can find the audio of it.
Okay.
So if you,
And it doesn't sound like this?
it's like, it sounds like that, but then in between the verses, he would play his guitar and it would just be this, it's just weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. So Springsteen commented in 2014 on this song, quote,
Okay.
I have no idea what we were aiming for in this one. Outside of some vague sense of hipness. And an attempt at irony.
Yeah.
Never my strong suit.
No.
It reads now to me as a break from our usual approach and kind of a playful misfire.
Okay.
End quote.
I love Bruce
I
because
love
he can
Bruce.
say stuff like that.
He owns it.
Because, and this is that, going back to that quote he said about, I tried writing happy songs. No, you didn't write happy songs. You broke the agreement. So there's one rule that the world gave Bruce Springsteen, and you don't have to tell the truth about your life.
You're going to have to break your one rule.
But he's not allowed to ever sympathize with
Yeah.
or allowed to align himself with or compare himself to the bourgeoisie. And he broke that here. He's talking about buying a mansion,
Right.
with $100,000 bills and all this stuff. No, man, you're not allowed to talk like that. As simple as that. You're not. I don't care if it's true. You're not allowed to talk like that. You're Bruce Springsteen.
So, E Street Band are in the studio. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking he's not making these decisions then? You think he's coming off of Born in the USA, the tour, everything. He's a mega star after that. And he just starts putting out drivel.
Yeah.
Like Tunnel of Love, Lucky Town, and Human Touch.
And then
Like
this.
just, ugh.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just kind of lose the touch or whatever. Here's an interesting idea. We've talked about this, I think, before, is that most greats are great because they have a level of taste that most people just don't have. And that's how they're able to craft, because you know what it's like to write a song. You're being very...
constructive towards yourself, like being honest
well,
with
you're
yourself,
being very
or?
vulnerable, right? And you're
Vulnerable,
just
okay.
saying like, this is what I think is cool. Do you think it's cool? And like the people, it seems like the people who do it really well have a level of taste that they're able to make something that other people like as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I would argue that Bruce's superpower isn't necessarily his taste factor.
Okay.
It's his empathy. Right? So that's how he's able to do an entire career singing songs about stuff he's never experienced because he has this ungodly level of empathy.
He's just that good.
Right.
Yeah.
But this album, when he's like, I don't know if he's just trying to write more things up, like literally about himself or what, but that empathy is kind of lost.
Yeah.
And definitely the taste level isn't there for these ones anyway. Yeah. And you get this.
People run out of ideas too. Like it happens.
And that's
You just
fair.
run out.
That's
and
fair.
you kind of, I remember watching the Behind the Music. I missed those. I don't know if, did VH1 still do them?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Those are great though.
I remember seeing an episode, the Goo Goo Dolls. And I could watch any episode.
Yes.
Because
it
didn't matter who they were.
Totally.
Milli Vanilli, I watched that episode.
Yeah.
Leif Garrett. Yeah. But I watched the Goo Goo Dolls one, and I remember Johnny Resnick, after he had like this big breakthrough and this huge hit, and the album sells millions, and now he's got to go back and follow it up. And he says, the thing with writer's block is that you write all the time. You just think everything is crap.
Oh, okay.
So, like, there's never been like an absence of material with Bruce.
Right.
There's always been like a plethora of... Like, the guy's written so many songs, it's boggling.
Yeah.
It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
So he's always got lyrics kicking around, always got things. And I don't know if there's... It's not all going to be gold.
No.
Right? It's not all going to be gold. And I don't know, like, if he looks back on it and he's like, never my strong suit. It was kind of a misfire. Like, he knew.
Yeah, good for him.
But he puts it out anyway?
Oh, well, at the time, he doesn't know.
This is
I guess.
Oh, you think this is retrospect thinking?
Oh,
you
yeah,
think he
yeah.
believed in it when he put it out?
Yeah, he must have.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just contractual obligations, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
So, Smokin' Thrills 1 month ago.
1 month ago.
1 month ago. This album's from 1992.
Okay.
The bass line sounds like Peace Sells, but who's buying?
You're correct.
That was great. Do you know the bass line to that song?
I don't know the bass line to Peace Sells.
Okay, it's like
I know that's a Megadeth song. But...
Yeah, it's basically it.
Is it really?
Funny. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Hot 80s 7 years ago says, "Sorry, Bono head blow boy.
What?
The truth hurts."
What?
I don't know. And then here's another one. It's this obscure Lose-A-Mama 6 years ago says, "No, U2 blows." So that's two U2 comments in a row.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Poodle Dog 1 year ago says, "This guy sucks big time. He is a communist." A year ago, dude. This guy didn't write it in 1984.
Oh, man. Get lost. He's a communist.
And of course, John Leddingham 3 months ago says, "Pretending to be Lou Reed." How relevant.
That's awesome.
How relevant.
Oh, man.
Poppy Blood.
That's awesome.
Come on, James. The next song. Come on, James. Oh, you have it.
Yes.
I don't have to do it anymore.
You don't have to do it. I got it.
Oh, bless you. Wait a minute. What if people are like, "Oh, Mikey doesn't do his Lou Reed impression
No,
anymore"?
he can do it. But I also...
I can't.
No, man. And you can still do this one, too.
Madonna.
Oh, you have it?
I found the acapella to it.
Wow.
So happy.
I miss JT.
Hey guys, this is one half of the long-winded duo. Just wanted to jump in and make sure you're enjoying the episode so far, and don't forget to check out part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcast so that you can be a part of all this gold. Share it and like it and tell all your friends. Hugs and kisses on all your pink parts.